Hello everyone, my name is Nidhi Raja and I'm excited to be here today. I have overall 8 years of experience in the software industry. I started my career as a developer and worked in companies like Accenture. I have overall around 3 years of experience as a Scrum Master. I have been working as a Scrum Master in UST Global, and in my time as a Scrum Master, I have faced some challenges, but I have always been focused on finding ways to overcome them and bring improvements. I believe that self awareness is the key to personal and professional growth, and I am always striving to improve myself and the work that I do. So, I want to express my gratitude to Sunil for providing me with the opportunity to introduce myself and share my insights in his YouTube channel, Career Talk. So let's get started. Welcome to this video on Are We Really Following Agile Principles? So in this video, we will explore and we'll take a deep dive into the core principle that make it so effective. We will also discuss how you can assess whether your team is truly following Agile principles or not. As we all know, like Agile is a software development approach that emphasizes on collaboration, flexibility, continuous improvement. So it's a way of working. It's a way of working that values customer satisfaction, team engagement, and delivering value quickly and frequently. But just because you say you are doing Agile doesn't mean you are doing it, right? So in this video, we will go beyond the buzzwords and look at what it really means to follow Agile principle. We will examine each of the 12 principles of Agile and discuss how they apply to real world scenarios, and we will also share some tips and the best practice to help you assess your team's agile maturity and identify areas for improvement. Whether you are a software developer, project manager, agile enthusiast, this video is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the world of agile and see if we are really following agile principles or not. So, before jumping into the Agile Principle 1, I would like to discuss a little about its history, how these Agile principles came into the picture. Agile Manifesto, which include 12 principles, was created in 2001 by a group of software developers who wanted to improve the way they worked. So these developers who represented a variety of backgrounds and experiences were frustrated with the limitations of the traditional approach to software development, waterfall approach. So they wanted to find a better way of working that could address the challenges of delivering the software in fast and changing environment. So to achieve this, the group held a series of meetings and discussion where they discussed their ideas and experiences. They found that they shared many common values and beliefs, and they decided to capture these in the statement of principles that would guide their work going forward in future. So the result was the Agile Manifesto, which is a short and simple document that outlined four core values and 12 principles. So all those 12 principles we are going to discuss in this video. So let's move forward. So principle one is our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Let me explain you through first real life example. You can take any company example, whether it's Amazon, it's Google, it's Facebook. Their website use this principle to satisfy us, we, the customer. How they use this principle? Let me explain you. So they continuously update their software, their website to make their software user friendly. It's always user friendly, and they release new features frequently to make the user experience more pleasant. All the big companies, what they do, they prioritize the satisfaction of their customers by delivering the valuable software early and continuously. So this helps the companies to stay competitive and improve their reputation among their customers. So as per this principle, the most important goal for any software development team should be to make the customer happy by providing them with the useful and high quality software. Customers are like lifeblood of any company, and without them, the company cannot succeed. So they are the indispensable part of ours. So to deliver the product Instead of waiting until the end of a long development cycle, the team should release small but useful updates frequently so that the customer can see the product evolvement in front of their eyes. And one more thing in this principle, it's mentioned valuable software. So by valuable software, they mean whatever we will add, update, we should make sure it will make the customer life easier. And for delivering valuable software, we should know the needs of the customer, exactly what they want on time to time basis. We need to interact with them. That's why interaction is very important, which was missing earlier in the waterfall approach and traditional approach. So in this way, we are minimizing the risk of building a product that does not meet the customer's requirement, customer's need, or is not valuable to them. So time to time we have to take the feedback as well, then only we can prioritize the things. So overall, the principle of satisfying the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software is all about putting the customer first and ensuring that the needs are met. So by following this principle, software development team can build the products that truly meet the needs of the customer and create a loyal customer base that can drive the success of the company. So now the question comes, are we following Agile Principle 1? So the key indicators to look for is customer satisfaction first of all. So if your organization is truly following this principle, you should be regularly taking feedback from your customer and using that feedback to improve your software. And if you see a high level of customer satisfaction and engagement, then that is a good sign. So congratulations, it means that you are following this principle based upon customer satisfaction point. Next comes Agile practices. So if your organization is following Agile practices like Scrum, Kanban, so again, that's a good indication that you are prioritizing customer satisfaction, and Agile practices encourage teams to deliver small and frequent releases of software which can help keep customers engaged and satisfied. Next comes is organizations focus on value. Yes, another way to identify whether you are following this principle, to look at your organization's focus on value. Are you regularly delivering features and updates that provide real value to your customer? Are you prioritizing the most important features and delivering them early? So if so, that's again a good indication that you are following this principle. And finally, you can look at the metrics like user engagement, retention, and satisfaction to see if your organization is following this principle. And if you see a high level of engagement and satisfaction among your users, that's a good indication that you are delivering valuable software early and continuously. So, in summary, you can say like to identify whether your organization is following the principle one, you should look at customer feedback, agile practices, focus on the value, and customer satisfaction matrices. If you see high level of customer satisfaction, engagement, and value, that's a good sign that you are following this principle. User engagement and customer satisfaction should be high and retention should be low. Now let me take you through principle 2, which is welcome changing requirements even late in the development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. Yeah. So let me first explain it to you with some real life example first. So many software startups use this principle to stay competitive in a fast changing market. So startups often have limited resources and must be able to adapt quickly to the changes in the market or changes in the customer needs. So by welcoming changing requirements, startups can pivot quickly and stay ahead of the competition. So the companies prioritize the ability to adapt and respond to change in order to stay competitive and provide the best service to their customer. So it means that in software development, changes in the requirement should be welcomed even if they come late in the development process. So, so the thing is, in the development process, agile teams can take advantage of new opportunities and stay ahead of the competition. So in this way, agile processes are designed to turn the change into a positive force rather than a disruption or obstacle to the progress. So don't take change as a negative thing. Think like if you change it, then how it's going to give you a benefit. So in the rapidly changing world of technology, requirements can change quickly and software development teams must be able to adapt to those changes. So the principle of welcoming changing requirements allows the teams to be more flexible and responsive to the customer needs. And by welcoming those change and using it to their advantage, software development team can create a better product that meet the evolving needs of the customer. So this can give a customer a competitive advantage in a market by allowing them to respond quickly to the changes and stay ahead of the competition. So now the question comes, are we following Agile principle too or not? So the first indicator is implementation of Agile process in your organization. Agile processes are designed to be flexible and adaptable, allowing for changes to be incorporated into the development process easily and quickly. So if your organization is using Agile process, it is more likely to be able to welcome changing requirements even if they come later in the development. Next indicator we have in the list is frequency and regularity of feedback gathering. So if your organization is welcoming changing requirements, it is likely that it is gathering feedback from the customers regularly. So this feedback should be used to adjust the requirements even if the feedback comes later in the development process. Next we have iterative approach. As you all know, agile process rely on an iterative approach to the development, where the small changes are made to the software in short development cycles called sprint or iteration. This allows for changes to be incorporated easily and quickly even if they come later in the development stage. Next we have collaboration. Collaboration between the stakeholders including the development team, customers, business stakeholder is essential to welcome the changing requirements. If your organization is welcoming changing requirements, there should be open and frequent communication between all the stakeholders to identify the changes and act on them quickly. So, agile process encourage continuous improvement as well. If your organization is welcoming changing requirements, it is likely that it is also constantly seeking feedback and looking for ways to improve the product to meet the evolving customer needs. So, I think by seeing all these parameters, we can try to identify what all we are doing. Are we following really agile principle 2 or not? Now let's see the principle 3, which is deliver working software frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months with a preference to shorter time scale. So suppose a software development team is working on a new project for a client. Yeah. So in the traditional waterfall approach, the team would spend several months or even years developing the software before delivering a finished product to the client. However, in the agile methodology, the team would aim to deliver working software frequently with a preference for shorter time scale. Let's clear it with one example. For example, the team could break down the project into smaller manageable pieces and deliver a working version of the software every couple of weeks. So this allows the client to see the progress of the project, provide the feedback throughout the development process, which can be incorporated into subsequent iterations of the software. So by delivering the working software frequently, the team can ensure that the project is on track and that the client needs are being met. So one real life example of this principle in action is the development of online retailers Amazon website. So Amazon uses the agile methodology to continuously deliver working software to its customers. So this company releases new features and updates to its new features to its website every few weeks, allowing them to test and refine the software real time. So this approach has helped Amazon stay ahead of its competitors and deliver a better experience for its customer. So overall, what exactly I mean is delivering working software frequently is a key principle of Agile methodology. And by breaking down the projects into smaller pieces and delivering working software frequently, team can make sure that they are meeting the client needs and delivering better product in a shorter amount of time. So now coming towards next slide, are we following principle 3 of Agile Manifesto? Agile principle 3 emphasizes on delivering working software frequently with a preference for shorter time scale between releases. So this allows stakeholders to provide the feedback early and often and enables the team to adjust their approach based on that feedback. So the frequency of software release is an important indicator of how well the team is following Agile Principle 3. If the team is delivering the software updates on a regular basis, this suggests that they are prioritizing continuous delivery and feedback from the stakeholders. And in order to follow the Agile Principle 3, the development team must work closely with the stakeholders to gather the feedback on their software updates. So by doing so, they can quickly identify the areas for improvement and make changes to their approach in response to the feedback. Next is use of Agile methodology. So by using this Agile methodology is another key aspect of following the Agile Principle 3. This emphasizes on collaboration, flexibility, continuous improvement, which are all essential for delivering the working software frequently and gathering feedback from the stakeholders. So next is which is the final ultimate measure of project success in an agile environment is whether or not the team is meeting its objectives. This requires the ongoing evaluation and adjustment throughout the project lifecycle, as well as a commitment to continuous improvement and learning. So, in conclusion, following Agile Principle 3 requires a commitment to continuous delivery, frequent feedback from the stakeholders, and the use of Agile methodology and the ongoing measurement and evaluation of project success. So by prioritizing these elements, development team can deliver high quality software updates on a regular basis and ensure that they are meeting their project objectives. Now let's understand principle 4. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. So suppose a software development team is working on a new project for a client. And development team consists of developers, testers, and project managers, while the business people include product owners, stakeholders, customers. So in the traditional approach, business people will provide the requirements and specifications to the development team, and the team would work in isolation to develop the software. However, in the Agile methodology, business people and developers work together daily throughout the project. This collaboration ensures that the development team understand the needs and the requirement of the business people, and the business people understand the development process and the challenges faced by the development team. For example, the product owner could work with the development team to prioritize the features based on the customer needs and provide the feedback on features as they are developed. And the development team could also demonstrate working software to the business people at the end of each iteration or sprint, allowing them to provide the feedback and make changes. So, in summary, the Agile methodology emphasizes the importance of collaboration between the business people and the developers throughout the project. So, this collaboration ensures that the development team understand the needs of the business people and the uh, development process, resulting in a better product that meets the customer needs. So now the question is, are we following principle 4? So first is co-located teams. Co-locating teams is a good indicator of whether the business people and the developers are working together daily. Co-location actually enables easy and frequent communication between the business people and the developers, allowing them to collaborate on project requirements, progress, and any changes. Regular meetings. Regular meetings between the business people and the developers help to ensure that everyone in the team, whether it's business people, whether the developer, is on the same page. They are on the same page and that the requirements are being met. Meetings should be held daily or at least several times a week to enable effective collaboration and problem solving. Next, we have collaborative tools. Collaborative tools such as video conferencing, chat software, project management tool. These tools can help facilitate daily communication between the business people and the developers, even if they are not co-located. Next, we have shared ownership. Business people and developers should have a shared ownership of the project with everyone working towards a common goal. So this shared ownership can help to foster collaboration and ensure that everyone is committed to the project success. So in your team, in your organization, if there are regular meetings happening, if business people and development team are regularly interacting with each other, taking the feedback and reviews are happening, so it means somewhere we are following principle 4. Now let's understand principle 5, which is build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need and trust them to get the job done. So it's all about empowering your team members to take ownership of their work and achieve their best results. So let me give you an example from real life to explain this principle. Google. Google is a company that is widely known for its focus on employee motivation and empowerment. So one of the ways that Google builds project around motivated individuals is through its famous 20% time policy. This policy allows employees to spend 20% of their work time pursuing projects that interest them, even if these projects are not the part of their formal job responsibilities. So by giving employees the freedom to pursue their interest, Google fosters a sense of autonomy, mastery, and purpose, which are essential components of motivation. So additionally, this policy has resulted in some of the Google's most innovative and successful products, including Gmail, Google News. So in summary, building the projects around motivated individual involves giving employees the autonomy, support, and trust they need to succeed. So, by fostering an environment that values motivation and empowerment, organization can tap into the creativity and hence members achieve exceptional results. So the question is, are we following this principle 5 or not? So let's go through these points. First is employee engagement. So if your employees are engaged, they are more likely to feel motivated and empowered. So high levels of employee engagement can be a good indicator that your organization is following this principle. That's the first point. Next, autonomy. So do your employees have the autonomy to make the decisions about their work? Giving employees the freedom to work in their own way and pursue their interest can be an indicator that your organization is building the projects around motivated individuals. Support. Providing your employees with the support they need, whether it resources, whether it trainings, mentorship, it can be an indicator that your organization values its employees and is committed to the success. Trust is also a critical component of building the projects around motivated individuals. If your organization trusts its employees to get the job done and make the right decision, it can be an indicator that your organization is following this principle. Innovation next. So, are your employees encouraged to think creatively, and pursue innovation ideas? So, building the projects around motivated individuals can lead to greater innovation and breakthroughs, which can be an indicator that your organization is following this principle. So, by looking for these indicators, we can identify whether our organization is following the principle of building the projects around motivated individuals. So, if you find that your organization is not following this principle, you may need to consider making changes to foster a culture of motivation, empowerment, and trust. Now let's go through the principle 6, which is the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. So this emphasizes on the importance of communication in agile software development, and face-to-face communication is considered as the most effective way to convey the information, as it allows for immediate feedback, clarification, and understanding. Real life example of this principle in action that can be seen in daily stand-up meetings in an agile development team. Daily stand-up meetings are often held to discuss the progress of the project and any issues that may have arisen. So during this meeting, the team members stand together and take turns giving updates on their work, identifying any obstacles they are facing, and sharing an important information with the team. So these daily stand-up meetings provide an opportunity for face-to-face communication, allowing the team members to quickly and efficiently convey the information to one another. And one another example is, for example, if a developer is having trouble with a particular feature, they can raise it during the stand-up meeting, and the team can work together to find a solution. Alternatively, so if a business stakeholder has new requirement, they can discuss them during the meeting. I mean, some other meeting, and get immediate feedback from the development team. So, by utilizing face-to-face communication, the development team can stay aligned on the project goal and quickly address any issues that arise. So, this approach is more efficient and effective than relying solely on written communication, as it allows for a real-time collaboration and problem solving. Now let's check it out. Are we following principle 6 or not? First is observation of communication practices. One way to identify if face-to-face communication is being used effectively to observe the team's communication practices. If the team members are frequently holding face-to-face meetings, daily stand-up meetings, or other forms of in-person communication, it is a good sign that principle is being followed. Next point, we have feedback from team members. Another way to identify whether face-to-face communication is being used effectively is to gather the feedback from the team members. Regularly seeking feedback on communication practices can help identify any issues or areas where improvement is needed. Team members can provide the feedback on the effectiveness of the communication practices, such as whether they find face-to-face communication helpful or whether they feel that other forms of communication are more effective. Next is measuring the project success. The success of the project can also be an indicator of whether the team is effectively using face-to-face communication. So if the project is progressing smoothly with few delays or miscommunication, it's a good sign that the team is communicating effectively. On the other hand, if there are frequent delays or misunderstanding, it may indicate that the communication practices needs to be adjusted. Now let's see Agile Principle 7. So in today's dynamic business environment, software development has become an increasingly crucial aspect of any organization success. However, in traditional software development, methods often result in lengthy development cycles and a high risk of failure due to misalignment with the customer needs. So, in response, the Agile methodology was developed to enable the organization to respond to changing requirements quickly and efficiently. So, one of the core principles of Agile is the working software. Working software is the primary measure of the progress. This principle emphasizes the importance of delivering a working product that meets the customer requirement and provides value to the organization. It means that instead of focusing on documentation, planning, or other non-productive tasks, the team should prioritize the development of a functional product that meets the customer's needs. For example, let's say that a software development team is tasked with building an e-commerce platform for a client. So traditional development methods might involve months of planning, might involve heavy documentation before any coding takes place. However, an agile team will prioritize the development of a working e-commerce platform that can be used by the customer, allowing them to provide a valuable feedback on the product's features and functionality. So this feedback can then be incorporated into future development cycle, ensuring that the product continue to meet the customer's needs. So by prioritizing the working software, Agile development team can deliver the value to their customers quickly and efficiently. It it enables them to respond to the changing requirements and market conditions, ensuring that the product remains relevant and valuable. And furthermore, it promotes a culture of continuous improvement with each development cycle building on the previous one to create a product that meets the customer needs and provides a value to the organization. So overall, in conclusion, Agile Principle 7 working software is the primary measure of the progress. It's a key component of the Agile methodology and it emphasizes the importance of delivering a functional product that meets the customer needs and provides value to the organization. And by prioritizing the working software, Agile teams can deliver value to their customers quickly and efficiently while promoting a culture of continuous improvement. Now let's see how we can identify whether we are following Agile Principle 7 or not. Regularly releasing working software to the customer or end user for feedback and validation. Are we doing it or not? First, we need to analyze. We need to check in our organization whether we are doing this or not. So prioritizing the development of working software over documentation, planning, or other non-productive tasks, are we doing it? Measuring the progress based on the development of working software that meets the customer needs and provides value to the organization. We need to check that. Next, conducting frequent retrospectives to identify areas of improvement in the development process and incorporating feedback into the future development cycles. At the same time, ensuring that the team members understand the customer's needs and prioritize the development of the features that provide the most value to them. Maintaining a culture of continuous improvement that encourage experimentation, learning, adaptation to the changing requirements and empowering the team to make the decisions and take ownership of the development process, including the design, coding, testing, working software, and emphasizing the collaboration and communication between the team members, customers, and stakeholders to ensure that everyone is aligned to the development goals and prioritize. So by checking all these points, all these parameters, we can make sure that whether we are following Agile Principle 7 or not. So now let's see Principle 8, which is working agile process promote sustainable development. The sponsor, developers and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. So, in this fast paced world of software development, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of delivering more features faster. However, this can often lead to burnout and lack of sustainable development practices. Agile methodology was developed to promote sustainable development by emphasizing the importance of maintaining a constant pace and avoiding overwork and exhaustion. So, this principle emphasizes the importance of creating a development process that's sustainable over the long term, allowing the team to deliver high quality products while maintaining their health and well being. For example, let's say that a software development team is tasked with building a complex system for a client, right? So, traditional development methods might involve long hours and unrealistic deadlines that could lead to burnout and exhaustion. However, an agile team would prioritize creating a sustainable development process that allow the team to maintain a constant pace while delivering high quality software. So, by emphasizing sustainable development practices, agile teams can avoid the pitfalls of overwork and burnout. They can deliver high quality software while maintaining a healthy work life balance. So, this approach ensures that the team remains motivated and engaged, leading to higher productivity and better result. To ensure that we are following Agile Principle 8, we can take the following steps. Encouraging a healthy work-life balance by setting realistic deadlines, avoiding overwork, and prioritizing the development of sustainable development practices such as continuous integration, automated testing, empowering the team to make decisions about the development process and ensuring that they have the resources they need to succeed. So, conducting frequent retrospective to identify areas of improvement in the development process and incorporating feedback into future development cycle, ensuring the team members are adequately trained and have the necessary skills to deliver high quality software, promoting a culture of collaboration and communication to ensure everyone is aligned on the development goals and priorities. So, in conclusion, Agile Principle 8, working agile processes promote sustainable development. Sponsors, developers, and the users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely, and that's a critical component of the agile methodology. So, by prioritizing sustainable development practices, agile teams can avoid burnout, exhaustion, deliver high quality software, and maintain a healthy work life balance. Next is Agile Principle 9. As Agile practitioners, we know that delivering high quality software is key to the success of our projects. However, it's not just about delivering software quickly, it's about delivering software that is maintainable, scalable, and resilient. So, this is where Agile Principle 9 comes in picture, which is continuous attention to the technical excellence and good design enhances agility. So this principle emphasizes the importance of prioritizing the technical excellence and good design practices throughout the development process. So by focusing on technical excellence and good design, agile teams can deliver software that is not only functional but also easy to maintain and scale as needed. For example, let's say that a software development team is tasked with building a new e-commerce platform for a client. Without attention to technical excellence and good design, the team might end up with a system that is hard to scale, prone to errors, and difficult to maintain. However, by following Agile Principle 9, the team can prioritize technical excellence, good design practices to ensure that the resulting software is the highest quality. Some real life example of how Agile team can follow this principle include conducting regular code reviews to ensure that the code is maintainable, easy to understand, and as per the good design principles. implementing automated testing to catch errors early in the development process and ensure that the software is functioning as intended, using tools, frameworks that promote good design, such as solid principles, domain driven design, test driven development, encouraging continuous learning and improvement among the team members to ensure that they have the necessary skills and knowledge to deliver high quality software, and prioritizing the tech debt reduction, which involves paying off tech debt, so and avoiding it in the future. So by following this principle and prioritizing the technical excellence and good design, agile team can enhance their agility and deliver software that is not only functional but also scalable, maintainable, resilient. In conclusion, agile principle 9 is about continuous attention to technical excellence, and good design enhances agility. It's a methodology. By prioritizing technical excellence and good design practice, agile teams can deliver high quality software that meets the needs of the clients and the stakeholders. So now the question is, are we following principle 9? So ways to identify if you are following agile principle 9 or not is like regularly conducting code reviews to ensure that the code is maintainable, easy to understand, and as per good design principle. Implementing automated testing to catch the errors early in the development process and ensure that the software is functioning as intended. Using the tools and the framework that promote good design and test driven development, like domain driven design, test driven development, prioritizing the tech debt reduction, which involve paying off tech debts and avoiding it in the future, encouraging continuous learning and improvement among the team members to ensure that they have the necessary skills and knowledge to deliver high quality software, ensuring that the team has a clear understanding of the project's technical requirement and objectives, encouraging a culture of experimentation, innovation to find new and better ways of achieving the technical excellence and good design. Regularly measuring and tracking the technical metrics such as code complexity, test coverage to ensure that the team is continuously improving its technical practice, and ensuring that the team has the resources and support they need to prioritize technical excellence and good design throughout the development process. Now let's see principle 10, which is about simplicity. As agile practitioners, we know that delivering value to our clients and stakeholders is at the heart of what we do. However, it's not just about doing more work, it's about doing the right work. This is where Agile Principle 10 comes in, simplicity. The art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. So, this principle emphasizes the importance of focusing on essential work and avoiding unnecessary complexity. So, by prioritizing simplicity, agile teams can deliver value more efficiently and effectively. For example, let's say that a software development team is tasked with building a new mobile app for a client. Without attention to simplicity, the team might end up with an app that has too many features and is difficult to use. However, by following Agile Principle 10, the team can focus on uh, delivering only the essential features that will provide the most value to the users. Some real life example of how Agile team can follow this principle include prioritizing the features based on user needs and business value rather than trying to include everything at once, avoiding unnecessary complexity in the design and architecture of the software, which can lead to maintenance issues and performance problem down the line, using simple and straightforward coding practices, and increasing open communication and collaboration among team members to identify areas of unnecessary complexity and simplify the development process. Regularly reviewing and refining the project backlog to ensure that it only contains the most essential work items. Continuously monitoring and measuring the value delivered by the software to ensure that it aligns with the clients and stakeholders' goals and expectations. So, By following this principle and prioritizing simplicity, agile teams can maximize the amount of value delivered while minimizing unnecessary work and complexity. So, in conclusion, agile principle 10 simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. It's a critical component of agile methodology, and by focusing on the essential work and avoiding unnecessary complexity, agile team can deliver value more efficiently and effectively, and ultimately achieve greater success for their clients and stakeholders. So now let's see, are we following principle 10 or not? How we can identify. First is focusing on delivering only the essential features that provide the most value to the users, avoiding unnecessary complexity in the design and architecture of the software. Next, we have using simple and straightforward coding practices such as adhering to solid principle, and there should be increasing open communication and collaboration among the team members to identify areas of unnecessary complexity and simplify the development process. There should be regular review and refinement during the for the product backlog to ensure that it only contains the most essential work items. There should be continuous monitoring and measuring the value delivered by the software to ensure that it align the it align with the clients and the stakeholders' goals and the expectations. There should be prioritizing of the removal of unnecessary work and complexity through the techniques such as refactoring, simplification, and optimization. And we should avoid over engineering and over designing of the software, which can lead to wasted effort and resources. We should encourage a culture of experimentation and iteration to find the simplest and the most effective solution. So, focusing on delivering value to the end user and stakeholder rather than just delivering more work. So, these are only just few, and as I mentioned, there are so many other things like backlog refinement, optimization. We should focus on what client want from us, what they need actually, and based upon that only we need to focus on our software, our process, our practices. We need to manage, we need to do to identify the best architectures, requirements, and design for the project. So, this approach not only leads to better outcomes but also foster a culture of collaboration, innovation, and ownership among the team members. So, in conclusion, Agile Principle 11 is a critical component of the Agile methodology, and by promoting self organization and empowering teams to make decisions and take ownership of their work, Agile teams can tap into the collective intelligence of the team and innovative in ways that might not be possible with a more rigid and hierarchical approach. Now, let's move towards the next slide. Now, let's see, are we following principle 11? So, if we are encouraging open communication and collaboration among team members, giving the teams the autonomy and flexibility to make decisions about their work, if we are promoting a culture of innovation and experimentation, and if we are encouraging the team members to take the ownership of their work and contribute their ideas and expertise, if we are providing the team with the resources and support they need to succeed, if we are regularly reviewing and refining the project backlog and development process, we are creating an environment of psychological safety where team members feel comfortable sharing their ideas and opinion without the fear of reprisal. And if you are fostering a culture of continuous improvement and learning, encouraging the team to take ownership of the product and not just development, not just completing their task and assigned to them, not like that. So, having a well-defined but flexible process that empowers the team to make decisions based on the needs of the project and stakeholders. So, by following these practices, teams can work together to develop the best architecture, requirements, and design for the project. So, this approach not only leads to better outcomes but also fosters a culture of collaboration, innovation, and ownership among team members. Now let's see principle 12. Agile teams understand that the continuous improvement is critical to achieving this success. One of the key ways to achieve this is by regularly reflecting on our work, identifying areas for improvement, and making the necessary adjustments to become more effective. So, Agile Principle 12, it's the idea of inspecting and adapting. It's about taking a step back from our work to reflect on how we are doing, what's working well, and what could be improved. So, this process can be done at various intervals, such as after a sprint, after a release, or during a retrospective. So, during these reflection sessions, the team should examine their working process, communication, collaboration, and overall project progress. So, this can include reviewing the team's progress towards meeting goals, analyzing the data, such as sprint blockers or impediments, and reflecting on any successes and challenges that were encountered. And after reflecting, the team should work together to identify specific actions that can be taken to improve their processes and make the necessary adjustments. So, this can include changes to how work is organized, team communication, collaboration, process improvement. Um, for example, a development team may reflect on their recent sprint and realize that they encountered several blockers that slowed down the progress. Through their retrospective, they may identify the root cause of these blockers, such as lack of clear communication or inefficient processes. So, the team can then make specific adjustments such as implementing more frequent check-ins or creating new processes for resolving the blocker to become more effective in future sprints. So, in conclusion, Agile Principle 12 emphasizes the importance of continuous improvement through regular reflection, adjustment, and adaptation. So, by taking the time to reflect on our work and making necessary adjustments, we can become more effective and efficient and successful in achieving our project goals. Now, are we following Principle 12? Team regularly holds retrospective or similar reflection sessions, then it's a good indication. During the retrospective, the team can examine their process and communication, collaboration, project progress. So, team is able to identify areas of improvement and specific actions to take to become more effective. So, the team make adjustments based on the insights gained from the reflection and retrospective. If team is doing this thing, then it's really a good sign. If the team is able to measure the impact of their adjustments and determine if they have become more effective, if the team foster a culture of continuous improvement and is always looking for ways to become more effective, and if the team is open to feedback and willing to make changes based on that feedback, then it's a good indication again. If the team encourage the transparency and sharing of ideas, even if they may be critical of current process, and if the team has a mindset of experimentation and is willing to try new things to improve their effectiveness, if the team is self-aware and recognize when they may be falling into the old patterns and are able to make adjustments to get back on track, so these all are good indication. So by following these practices, team can ensure that they are continuously improving and adapting to the changing project needs. So this approach leads to more effective teams, better outcomes for the project.